Well. Could this work? Yeah, the cover's hot. Maisey Yates, Unbridled Cowboy. First book in a new series, Four Corners Ranch #1. And here we have our hero, Sawyer Garrett. I say hero, I should say protagonist, who was a player. He was a ladies' man who never really established a personal relationship with any of his paramours. But then he gets one of them pregnant. Her name was Missy. And the last thing she wanted was a baby. Guess what? The last thing Sawyer wanted was a baby. But when he held that baby in his arms, he knew he would never let her go. And he called her Junebug. Okay? The thing is, Sawyer has a huge ranch. And he's got to keep that going. You know, he has beef that gets sold, and he's got to work with the USDA. He's got a lot on his plate, and he's got this baby. So he decides to go the old-fashioned way and advertise for a mail-order bride. And that's why I started off this review, well. How does a mail-order bride trope work in a contemporary romance? Unlikely, right? But guess what? If you check my Goodreads, you're going to find out I gave this 5 stars. Well, why am I going to give just a romance 5 stars? It's because Maisey Yates made this book work, okay? So let's talk about the woman that answered the ad. Her name is Evelyn Moore. Now, she uprooted her city life, New York, with kiosks and, you got things like Lyft and Uber and lattes and everything, cash station machines, fancy clothes. But then she goes to Oregon after answering the ad. Now, she agrees to marry Sawyer. Okay? Now let's a little bit about Evelyn. Evelyn had a 10-year relationship. Okay? But why didn't she marry her fiance? Well, you'll have to read the book to find out. So now that she didn't suddenly decided not to marry, and I know why, I'm just not going to tell you, didn't agree to marry her fiance and has headed off to Oregon to Four Corners Ranch, which is Sawyer's ranch, to become a mail order bride and a new mother, an instant mother to little Junebug, who's only months old. Why? Okay, so she gets there. The first thing is, oh my gosh, look at the cover, he's hot. Second thing is, oh my goodness, look at her, she's beautiful, even though she's not pictured on the cover. But Sawyer wants one thing: not to settle down, not to fall in love, not to become emotionally involved. He just is determined to raise his little baby June, who he calls Bug. And if you ever watch This Is Us, that's what Rebecca called her daughter. She called her Bug. So that's what he calls his little one. He calls her Bug. Now, this is an unforgettable book to me. There are so many things that I love about this book that I can't even say them all. But one of the things that I love is when you get into the meat of the book, you're going to find out why he calls his daughter Junebug. Okay? Another thing that I like about the book, well, there's something that comes to the forefront of my mind, but I want to mention something else, is there's a history in that town for all the women leaving. But only one woman in the generations of the Garrett family, Sawyer Garrett's family, there's only one woman that stayed. So find out who that woman is when you read the book. And then the third thing is the fact that, again, this is a contemporary mail order bride. I don't know. Oh, poor cat has something stuck on his paw. Sorry. Anyway, he was on my Oh, I thought he tore my fabric. He was on this, but it doesn't look like it has any tears in it. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry about that. So those are things that I want to mention in this book. And then of course the little baby, you know, she's endearing to Evelyn. Evelyn falls in love at first sight. She sees the baby, she's a mother instantly, and she loves it. But she is attracted to Sawyer. And so what happens there? And remember, this attraction that she has for him, that he eventually or quickly has for her, is hindered by his lack of emotional connection to any of the lovers he had before, and for the history that Sawyer grew up with. And there's one other quick thing I want to mention. Sawyer has siblings, a brother and a sister, and a best friend. So with this being book number 1 of the Four Corners Ranch series, I'm sure all of those secondary or tertiary characters will have stories. And so there you have it. Maisey Yates, Unbridled Cowboy. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.